Okay, once we've created that new user in the background, then we're going to log in. So we're going to log in using those new details. So username will be your unique email. I really should have a shorter email. And then password. Click the tick, log in, and this is going to bring us onto our user login page now. Now, whilst I'm logged in as a user, or if I'm as a coach and I'm then logging into a user, it's going to give me 3 tabs down the bottom: session, profile, and history. So we're going to start with session. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at power training. So this gives me the ability to select power, speed, or endurance training. So we're going to start with power training. So select power. Then it brings me onto the technique selection screen. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to decide which technique that I'm going to record my data against. And the software itself is populated with some standardized techniques. For your own school or gym or organization, as an administrator, you have the ability to set up your own techniques that are more specific to your style. So if we start off with the upper body techniques, and as we go through, we then work through lower body techniques. So if we select a technique, such as a hook, and next thing is to select whether I want to record on the left or the right side of the body. So we're going to go with right. Next one is number of repetitions. So I can select 5, 10, or 25 repetitions. We know that 5 is the golden number for measuring power. And then we can also select the time delay between the strikes. And when we're measuring power, we usually just want to keep that at 1. Press next. This is going to bring up the strike screen. Now on the power screen, this is going to display kinetic energy, the human force, and impact power. So we're going to do those 5 repetitions. And then it's going to bring up my punch summary screen. Now you will have noticed on that the dials weren't going very high. That's because in the back end of the system, logged against my hook, are much bigger numbers, which means in relativity, I'm not performing very well on that hook. So that explains the dials. When we come on to the power summary then, we've got the best and average for each of the measurables: human force, the kinetic energy, and the impact power. And it's also going to display my power index, which is my power to weight ratio, or my human force to weight ratio. Okay, so the last thing with this summary screen is then I can look at each series, each repetition within that series of repetitions on its own. So if I'm looking at applying different coaching principles or trying different techniques, different aspects of my technique, then I can isolate each technique to see how I performed. Or if I'm coaching somebody, I can then isolate each technique. Okay, so that's power testing.